You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuned into the world famous Blueprint Radio show.
What up, Ski?
I'm the one and only Matic. Over here is
Reed Roses _BPRS.
And we appreciate your time today.
You heard?
Let's get right into it, my guy. How was your week?
Bro, I had a good week. A lot of business getting done, a lot of work, but
yes,
you know, we're here now.
That's it.
How was your week, big dog?
Likewise, grinding. Pulled up on Mom Duke. She had a little dinner for us yesterday. So, you know, fam's all good. Everything's in a good place. I'm in a good place. We're in a good place. So hopefully everyone out there is in a good place, and we're going to keep you in the right spot. You're in the place to be.
You can't ask for anything more, literally.
So the first track that we ran today was that J.Cole, T Grizzly.
Whoa.
Well, it's actually T Grizzly featuring J.Cole, but J.Cole was all over the track.
Feel me? Once you get the verse and the chorus
and the hook,
it feels like it's your track, right?
You finessed out of that. So what did you think about the track? How you feeling the vibe? How you think about Cole's verse?
Feels like a big shot at Drake, bro.
Yeah, off rip, off top.
I'm telling you the honest truth.
All right.
I only heard it once. The beat is fire. Big up T Grizzly for his development. Like we talked about that in the car on the way up.
Yeah.
Dope track, but who is Cole aiming at? I've been watching all this internet stuff saying that Cole's been shooting after Drake and the relationship really wasn't what first person shooter made it look like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, right now, you're aiming for the top. You're always talking about being the best rapper in the game. Who else you talking about?
You know, I get it. And the thing is, though, so now we have a little more, you know, understanding and context in regards to their situation, especially if what we heard about first-person shooter and, you know, Kenny was supposed to be on the track and, you know, people didn't get the track, so on and so forth. Yeah. You know, a bunch of misinformation going back and forth. Also, you know, we talked about Cole being on the track with Future on Future's album, the second one, doing a track with A$AP Rocky, having a track with Daylight. These are pretty much the ops of the beef.
Which is crazy because Daylight was close with Drake, but now he's signed to TDE.
Yeah. So the writing to me is on the wall. I don't think you need to look any deeper than it. That verse, as you said, there's energy to it.
It felt like there was some aim.
Yeah, and
I mean, he had a dope bar though. That one bar where he said, like James Todd's signature. If you didn't really understand who
that was a hard bar.
James Todd Smith is, that's LL Cool J.
Yeah, he has a
line.
You're
taking 2 L's.
Yeah, he has a lot. That bar is hard.
That's hard.
He also has the line where I think he says the boy. So you listen, we'll take your feedback. You guys listen to the track. It's going to be on our playlist uploaded at the end in a couple days, so we'll have the video for you. You guys tell us in the comments what you think about it.
When you say we had the video, tell them what you mean by that.
So we have a video play on our YouTube channel, Blueprint Radio. Go check it out. If you haven't subscribed, please go do so. Like, share, hit the notification bell. You already know how that go.
Comment.
All of it. We want it. We want the engagement. But everything that we play on our iLive radio show, all the tracks we will have as video content. So you can throw on, you're doing some chores, you chilling in the crib, you having a party, you kicking it in the backyard, whatever the case is, you could throw on that Blueprint Radio playlist. Again, keep in mind, we do have the hottest playlist on Spotify, on iTunes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, we got you guys everything that you guys need, all in one-stop shop. We do the work for you so you guys can chill. That's Blueprint Radio, baby, all day. So, staying with music, what do you think about the Future album? I know it dropped. I liked it off rip. I continue to listen to it. Yeah. It's in my playlist. It's a vibe. It's Future.
It's a vibe.
It's I feel like it's that good Future.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think? What are your sentiments about it?
Man, I liked it. I didn't have any beefs with it. It was good.
Yeah.
Records are good. I like Pluto Ski.
Yeah.
I like Brazier. You know what I'm saying? That's that good old Future. It gives you that vibe.
What's the third track's name again?
Ski.
Yeah, that track goes.
Ski is hard.
Ski's hard. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like classic Future. What you needed, what you thought you would get from Future. Good tape.
Yeah.
Not much to say on it. because it's all vibe music. It's all the flow. You know what I mean?
We won't stretch it. You know what you're getting with Future.
Exactly.
You know, track in, track out, album in, album out. All right. So the piece de resistance, that Mr. McMahon, the Netflix doc drop.
Huh?
Absolute fire. So again, spoiler alert for those that haven't seen it. I think we're gonna cover up to like maybe the first 4 episodes ish today, and we'll finish it off next week. What do you think, my guy?
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We grew up on WWF. I'm not even calling it WWE.
100%.
World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
We seen the Hulk Hogan era.
What you gonna do, brother?
The new era. Then we saw the Attitude era.
Yeah. No chance.
This was my life.
Yeah.
So to see this was like, yo.
Oh, it was amazing.
I knew a lot of this information already because I watch all the wrestling docs.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of wrestlers shoot on each other and tell the background stories. So,
and we called it here too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we knew a lot of the stuff, but there were a lot of things that we didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. We knew he had premarital or not premarital. He had extramarital affairs, but I didn't know like it came out like that in the 80s though.
Yeah.
Like I knew about it in the 90s and the 2000s, but that case in the 80s was crazy. I remember watching docs about the MTV generation and using Cyndi Lauper and like, you know, pushing through. We talked about it in the car and we used the word visionary.
Yeah.
He had insight. He had thought. He understood where to take the game to the next level. Yeah. Obviously, it's Vince McMahon Jr. Yeah. His father is senior. Yeah. His father was a wrestling promoter previously. Kind of brought him into the game, into the business, but he saw where his pops took it and wanted to take it to that next level. And it showed a lot about his relationship with his pops in the first episode and whatnot. And then it moved on to the transition of him taking over, blowing it up, having WrestleMania 1 being a great success, WrestleMania 2 trying a thing, being in 3 different cities at once.
It was a good idea too, though.
That was before streaming, though.
It was before its time.
Exactly.
It was before its time.
He was way ahead of his time. Yeah. Then WrestleMania 3 hyping up Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Like,
with the finesse, because they've already fought like 10 times.
Like, fam, he said this is the first time he's ever been slammed, and they said he'd been slammed like 25 times
before. They show like 5 videos of Giant getting slammed.
But the crazy thing to me is when you see the stars young.
Yeah.
So seeing a young Dusty Rhodes. Seeing a young Bob Backlund. Like,
all these baby faces.
Yo, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, no, I'm with you on it. Like I was smiling throughout the whole time. Like even though Vince is an interesting character, and I didn't realize just watching it over time how much of the star of the show Vince McMahon is.
Bro, they were saying that he basically had Hogan. Like Hogan was his puppet. Like he was pulling them strings.
Yeah. Like he was again. I like the word visionary, a pioneer, going against the different areas or the zones that they had. The AWA, I believe it was like pretty much the biggest organization. And what Vince ultimately did is he went in there, poached the best talent, put it on his talent, and then took it on tour. And, and when the old boys club is set in a one way and you're looking to go against the grain, he's been rewarded up till today for taking those chances, making that leap, just trying to do something different. And it worked. And I think I always try to extrapolate a lot from watching these docs and how I can implement it with my life, good, bad, or indifferent. And, what I took from that, and especially something we can imply here is just, finding your lane, being slightly different, but, diving all in and being committed in what you do. And he changed the way that wrestling was done in the United States. Yeah. And then, took it out of here to the point where there was nothing else.
I wanted to add on to that because in one of his early interviews, you see him saying he wants to be it for sports entertainment. Yeah. So he already had that vision, but all the things that he did worked towards his goal. Because entertainment-wise, there was a point when wrestling was on top.
Yeah.
It was like top tier, like entertainment for sports, the storylines, the characters.
Multiple times, I think, even like Hogan, like when Hogan was on top.
That's a fact,
right? Like even I would even say from WrestleMania 1 to maybe even WrestleMania 6, like minus WrestleMania 2, but even then. It was if they were able to pull that off, it would just be another hit after another hit, right? So wrestling is just one of those things, and I was thinking about it, and I don't want to be too extreme, and maybe y'all can tell me if I am, but I feel like wrestling is that medium that combines everything, right? Because it's technically a sport, right? It's they add a huge element of comedy. Right throughout it, drama, right in the promos.
It's a male soap opera.
It's adventure. It's reality TV. It's live TV.
It's everything.
There's violence, sex, young and old. Now the WWE, WWF is what 40 years old, 50 years old in totality. That's 2 generations of people connecting, watching this thing, right?
But to be honest, older people watch it. Middle-aged people watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Younger people watch it. Like it captures everybody. But that
transcends.
That was Vince's idea, though.
It is crazy.
They said that during the doc that he wanted to capture the younger audience, where his father didn't really understand what he was trying to do. So all these out of the box ideas, having a talk show, having these matches,
I remember the talk show,
having these cage matches, like these are things that they were not apt to doing, but Vince had the vision to do it.
One of the best memories of my life is being a young kid, maybe like 6 or 7 years old, and one of the few times throughout the year I was able to stay up late with Saturday Night Main Event.
Because you don't get to see 12 o'clock.
Midnight.
Like,
so when I saw these things and how they came about and those coming about after, the rise of WrestleMania and them going live circuit TV and I remember the influx of getting wrestling, and then we used to have wrestling taped. Didn't even realize it was taped Saturday nights, 7 p.m.
And
like,
then we'd see it the next day.
So it was dope, bro.
And when you think about it, just because you said your youth with it, I remember being very scared of a lot of wrestlers.
Or like Papa
because
Shango
it felt so real. Undertaker felt real. Jake the Snake, his snake was really biting people. Like,
bro, that Macho Man fight, bro.
Come on, that was real, dog.
He really bit him. Like, you can't fake that. And they spoke to that too.
Exactly.
Right? Like, wrestling, again, a lot of people, unless you've gone to a wrestling event, you don't realize that it is real. Like, it is scripted.
It's real. It's
real.
Is,
but that's a real chair, bro.
No, but
hitting
that's
across someone's head. Like,
exactly.
they know how to land and they know how to do all these things because they're also entertainers and actors, and they're doing it for longevity.
Yes.
But it is real to a T.
They are real athletes.
Yeah.
These are real performers, real professionals. A lot of controversy surrounding Vince.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with the steroid case, not wanting to pay his wrestlers when WCW came through. There's been so many different things that Vince has overcome and hurdled.
But I love the pace of the doc for that because, right, we're getting it like literally the way you're supposed to get it. And we see the rise of the WWF and all and you can obviously foresee all the money that they were making at that time, but more money, more problems, right? Because now they're on the radar. Now they're one of the biggest mediums in entertainment. So now obviously you gotta, now you gotta pay to play.
And the people you poach from is probably hating on you too.
Oh yeah, they lining you up.
They're lining you up. So
I mean?
It's like, yo, Vince McMahon's a real one, though.
Oh, listen.
I mean, he has his demons and there's a lot of wild stuff in the doc.
Documented stuff that we've seen play out, throughout time. Stuff going on right now.
Bro, let's talk about something, though. This is always a huge topic, especially as Canadians.
Yeah.
A screw job, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize
even worse now.
I didn't realize that there was a ladies champion that he screw job first.
Yeah.
So this was
and
already.
Brett said it too. Brett's like, I saw that coming. Yeah.
It was written.
Yeah. But okay. So one comment on the screw job, bro. You know why the screw job is even worse to me now is that when he was going through trial and all of that, like Bret Hart held up the organization, bro.
Oh my God, Bret was
when everybody was leaving, Bret held up the organization.
I think I had a bar.
And they still screwed him, bro.
I had a bar in the song. Like, you can't leave with the belt, though.
But again, he said that already.
He just didn't want to. He didn't want to lose to Shawn Michaels.
But what was the common denominator?
Because he had beef with Shawn.
Of course, I get that. But what was the common denominator when he did it with the other girl? She wanted to leave. She didn't want to give up the belt.
You can't.
And he's like, "That's my belt."
The biggest star at the end of the day, the biggest star is always going to be McMahon.
And you know what's crazy? And he was in defense of that so much. Remember, Blaze, the girl that she dropped the belt on live TV in the garbage at WCW.
That's crazy.
Sandra Blaze, I think her name is. Yeah. Like and she was a champion at the time. So he's like, that's the ultimate disrespect, right? So again, we can go into it. Obviously, the WCW, the NWO phase, we'll pick this up again next week.
I had my girl beside me while I was watching it, and she just didn't even she saw me getting so hyped when certain wrestlers came out. Like, when you seen Razor Ramon for the first time, I remember his promos before he even really became that guy.
Those promos were everything, bro. Like they had commercials before you dropped,
bro.
That was fire, bro.
It was like the new CD coming
They had like an 8-week run, an 8-week rollout for you, bro. Remember the Mr. Perfect ones? Yo, B. Yo.
And then you realize how many wrestlers pass away early.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that next week. Yeah, that's where the doc kind
Luger,
of... a ton, bro. Test, a ton of them,
But you didn't even realize that Eric Bischoff was... Oh my God!
Yeah, I know.
We could have a full episode on this.
Yeah, there's so much to it, and again, we were excited when we heard the doc. This is for just reason because we know that it's going to be done good. I didn't realize Bill Simmons is the one that executive produced the doc, so he's usually he does pretty good docs. He's been in entertainment for a while. Okay, so speaking of TV. Did you check out The Penguin?
Yes, I did.
So thoughts, please.
Okay.
Fire, I lie?
Nah, you didn't. You never lied.
All right.
At first, I was like, "Yo, Matic's really trying to get me on this cinematic, sci-fi."
I only watched the dopest shit, bro. I'm telling you that right now.
No, The Penguin was really good. It's really gruesome. It got right into the story right away. Character development happened so quick. I only got to watch one episode. I think the episode dropped yesterday. I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't see it either, yeah.
But it reminded me of like a mob style Tulsa King.
Yeah.
I'm watching Tulsa King again too.
I have it saved.
Dope show.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really good show.
But just taking it the parallels like mob boss.
Yeah.
Had an issue within the family.
Has to figure it out on his own now.
Figure it out on his own. Then he gets this young black guy to be his driver or be his help, be his aide. And then now they're going to ride together. And it was so dope. A lot of conflict on the first episode.
Yeah,
it was just going, murders, bodies,
and it's very
Gotham.
It's very HBO.
Yes.
Right? And I think that's where we can lean on. We were talking about it on the way up. It's just that when you see certain tags or certain companies involved in it, I think you could trust it even more, right?
You know what you're getting. You're getting quality.
I'm excited for this. It's weekly. I believe it drops Sunday nights. So
how did you feel
and the Sunday night slot for HBO is the one.
Oh, come on.
Right? Like if you want Sunday night 9 p.m., 10 p.m., like that, you are like they're the one they're leaning on.
As a kid growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I watched Batman.
Okay, yeah.
So I know the story of the Riddler.
Yeah.
I know the Joker.
Yeah.
And of course I knew Penguin.
Yeah.
So
he's like core Batman villain for sure.
Penguin's just like the makeup.
Yeah.
The look of him.
Bro, Colin Farrell, listen, that alone, like there's times I'm watching it and they're going through the scene and I'm just staring at this guy. I'm like, how? Bro? The limp. Yo.
Him having the LeBron James feet. Everything was like, it was so official. You know what I mean? The scars on his face. He walks like a penguin. You get it.
It's dope.
You know what I mean?
And I like how they take that, the animated world and make it realistic, but realistic.
And I also love that they made it mob style, but it feels like 50s mob style, but it's still 2024.
It's present. Yeah.
Like how it's like a mix. Good show.
Good. Okay.
I recommend it to the public.
All right. So you know what? Exactly. So that's 2 co-signed from BPRS. So we'll, every other week or so, we'll have an update on Penguin. I guess before we get back to music, some local news. Today's show's a little messy,
it's
doggy.
Dicey.
It's a little messy.
It is dicey.
So famed Toronto Raptor Scottie Barnes is in some baby mama drama. So ultimately,
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Ultimately, just to get everybody kind of caught up, his ex high school sweetheart, Nari's her name, went viral on TikTok for exposing the current situation that she's going through with Scottie Barnes, who evidently dumped her for a snow bunny that's 10 years his senior, and they're now expecting a child. Nari claims that she's been with Scottie Barnes since high school, moved with him to Toronto when he got drafted, even delayed her masters, and she's cheesed, and understandably, right? Scottie now, last year or this year got the big bag, 270 M's extension over 5 years, and a lot of people are online feeling like he got finessed by a sniper. Now, so the sniper, quote unquote, is a 34-year-old TikTok model named Elisa Ray Holmes. Now, she's a cute girl. She's a cute girl. For research purposes, I did check out the TikTok. And but she doesn't seem like one of them for me. Now, you can't judge a book by its cover all the time, but Scottie's getting killed right now online. There's a lot floating around saying that he's not really the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't know where they're getting that from because, he made it to the NBA. He was Rookie of the Year. He secured generational wealth. Scottie by no means is a dumb guy at all. But let me shoot the little man the young boy some bail. He's from Florida, right? I think it's like West Palm Beach or some shit, right?
I need to confirm. Is this the thing? Is this?
Yeah. Right? So he's from West Palm Beach, Florida, right? So
big up West Palm, right? Big up my man Mike F.
Bomb. So, he's probably playing basketball his whole life, focused just to get to the league, right?
Yes.
Now, he got drafted to Toronto, and we might be a little jaded being born and raised in the GTA, but we're one of the few melting pots in the world that there's not much places like Toronto, right?
You ain't never lied.
So where you can go to a restaurant or a club on any given night and see some of the most beautiful women on the planet. And I can understand being maybe a country bumpkin, you're not used to that, right? But he's also young, famous, rich, and far away from home. So at the end of the day, fam,
she's Canadian?
It's a wrap.
Is she Canadian?
I you know what? You can check for me. I didn't even know
she looks
if
like
she was.
She looks like a Canada.
She does. She does. She definitely
looks like
does.
a Canada thing.
She definitely does. But we understand, right? Because men them go mad over the gal them up here because Banner every week.
For me, it's a regular joint though.
Oh yeah.
I think his joint was his high school sweetheart was way sweeter.
Agreed.
I don't know what Scottie's doing.
Listen, I'm explaining it. I feel like he's far away from family.
But
he's rich.
But the girl
he's young.
Came with him, dog.
Okay, so here's this thing. So let's play
maybe
devil's advocate.
because he's a young you listen. You can't tire down. Okay, as a man, I'm gonna say this early. You can't tire yourself down too early, especially when you're getting them type of M's.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're gonna try different stuff. You're growing up.
Different experiences. You're going to be in different places and rooms you've never been before, around people you've never been around.
Your girl from home doesn't know this stuff.
Unless you're bringing her every single place you're going and she's experiencing it with you, then it's going to be hard, right?
I also have a daughter, so I would tell young women, don't base your life on a man.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Go and get your education. Don't put yourself on pause.
What great advice.
Because you don't know what could happen. You got to make sure you're good. Make sure you're solid. Now, Scottie.
No.
Now.
Yeah.
Listen, the experienced women know how to talk these young men out of whatever they need to get. We've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown had an older thing just up until lately.
Yeah.
Bernice Burgos. Beautiful lady.
Yeah.
But she's done her thing. She's had her time.
She's one of them snipers.
She's had her time.
Yeah.
Now, if the shoe was on the other foot,
it's tough.
If the shoe was on the other foot, though, look at how they treated Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, but we already know about the double standard, right? We know that that's there. Now, keep in mind. So let me play devil's advocate. Let me ride on Scottie's side for a second and say,
right.
You made a great points in regards to, listen, he's making this money, he's young, he's going to be experiencing different things.
Of course.
You know what pressure that might be on Nari in regards to trying to keep up? Like, if you're not one of them that's looking to, try a new 1-2-1-2, a trick here and there to kind of keep it spicy or do something and elevate yourself, you know what I mean? You got it's tough sledding. It's almost destined to fail to a certain degree, right? Let's say, who knows if she was holding it down?
You're saying he looks like a freakier man?
I don't know. I said I'm not even gonna call him that. I'm not even going in that direction. I'm just saying, who knows if she was doing what she needed to do.
Yo, I see the way he dressed. He might be a freakier man, dog.
To hold the position, right? So there's a lot of moving parts. What we do know is that there's three sides to every story.
Of course.
Right? So we've heard her side. We haven't heard Scottie. We haven't heard
we've seen the trend,
Alicia say anything.
We've seen the trends with the young boys.
Picking
up these older
Jalen
things.
Green, PJ Washington.
And I totally get it. These girls know how to move in the rooms. They've been experienced. They know how to guide you through. They had a man like you before. They've been that girl.
It's still nasty work because it's not under love or any guides of that nature, right? It's about a bag and a flip. And that's why people are so, cheesed on both levels, well, especially on this level, because it's being taken advantage of. Let's call it what it is, right? Like, you're an experienced person,
right?
Using someone's naivety, and again, keep in mind, like, they streamline it. I can see how they get wrapped up and they're around their finger because they know what a teenager wants or a young man wants, and they probably get right to it, as opposed to maybe a younger teen not having the experience, causing problems, headaches, stress before practice. Like, who knows, right?
And they understand, like, yo,
who knows?
My man's gonna be out on the road. These are what the things that he likes. So when he comes home, I'm ready.
This isn't her first. This isn't their first athlete.
So they're not bothered by the schedule. They understand. No, they're about the bag. Yeah, so
that's it.
I don't need your time. I need your money.
That's it. And they winning right now. They up.
We'll see how the Scottie Barnes thing's happening. I heard he's having a youth with the girls. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
Listen, that's I guess the positive thing, life. So shout out to you. But hopefully everyone finds happiness at the end of the day, and
more life.
And let's go Raptors. Okay, we're gonna get right back into music right now. You rocking with the best. It's Blueprint Radio. Let's get it.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
So this week in news and entertainment, can't run from it. Diddy again has popped up. Multiple reports. TMZ has reported another victim has filed another lawsuit claiming physical abuse, being drugged, and even impregnated. This is the 12th misconduct lawsuit for Mr. Combs.
Yikes.
If it's as bad as it looks, I can see this lineup getting 3 times longer, a la Bill Cosby, by the time it gets to trial. Listen, there's no way out here. It has nothing to do with the Benjamins.
Pun intended.
They're going to take all your pride. They're going to hold you down.
Damn.
Listen, I don't know what else to say. We already said it's over. It's up.
The jig is up, son.
I don't even know if we have any more adjectives, if we have any more thoughts. It's kind of all the same thing coming out. What we are seeing is other people's names being involved, and they're now being added to the story. Meek Mill is the one that I think really kind of went off this week.
That made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, so he's in super defense mode. First things first is he was offering up $100,000 to anybody that can prove that he is a part of these Diddy allegations, which is you're hypersensitive right now if you're willing to do that.
He needs to chill out. Less is more in this case. Don't talk about it.
Yeah. So we talked about that crazy audio that went about. Now, we're not going to play it here on Blueprint Radio.
Absolutely not.
At all, about, him and Diddy in close quarters. I get it, if that's not true or if that's not the case.
It feels like AI, though.
And again, so, you guys can go out and find it on your own. Now, please be careful of what you're listening to, where you're getting your sources, because this is the AI age right now.
Facts.
So, you don't be too quick to judge, but either way, it's nasty work. I think Meek kind of also did a lot of this to himself. The matching outfits don't help. The compromising videos and photos in Dizzy's presence don't help. You know what? 50 tells a story multiple times about him, I guess, in the industry early on, and Diddy messing with Diddy on the business tip, and Diddy asking to take him shopping. And he says multiple times that he was tripping, and because what grown man asked another grown man to take, a man shopping. Yeah. So unfortunately, when I see those pictures of them in the matching silk shirts, that's the first thing that comes to mind, my guy. I don't even know what to say. Like,
I personally don't get that.
It's tough to come back from that. How do you explain out of that?
There's
what I mean?
Coming back from that, it looks bad on Meek.
Yeah, for sure. Now, obviously, there's other names being popped up. You're seeing a lot of more of the photos of the white parties going nuts right now. At the end of the day,
we knew that he had all types of people going to it, just not rappers and black stars.
Yeah, no,
he had all races, all groups of people.
You're seeing a lot of
levels of people.
You're seeing a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio. You're seeing a lot of Ashton Kutcher. It's funny. I've seen photos of Diddy's been throwing these parties from Regis and Kathy Lee. I'm seeing again, and then there's the and then there's those sus pictures of up close ones with him and Kevin Spacey. If you know, you know. Yeah. And I'm still cheesed because House of Cards was such a good show. But at the end of the day, right? You're seeing pictures with him and Trump. You're seeing pictures with William and Harry and
Diddy knows everybody though.
So there's a lot at play here. A lot of powerful people involved.
He's an A-list star, so he's gonna attract A-list stars
from all walks of life.
Of course, politicians.
Well, speaking of politicians, Shine, recently spoke up for the first time, I think, almost ever in regards to how the whole scenario, the situation in the nightclub shooting affected his life. He said Diddy ultimately ruined his life, which is something that he hasn't said. Now he's come under fire too because there's been times since he's come out of jail where he's done photo ops with Diddy. Diddy's made donations to the country of Belize in regards to helping out, in relief efforts and so on and so forth. Now, what kind of side do you take? Or do you stand on business where I hate this guy forever, or am I gonna, take advantage of what you're offering? Yeah, right? Exactly, for my country.
I don't like the way they did that. Diddy did Shine with different lawyers.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bomb. So
hip hop bars.
For me, I think if you're Shine, I think you forever owe me. Because we knew in real time that Shine's taking the fall here.
The girl said,
and she come up recently saying I saw my guy shot. I saw him shoot me. I don't know why that didn't come up a long time ago. Isn't that obstruction of justice?
But I bet he did the thing where he said, "I'll take care of you. Just take this charge.
Yeah,
you do
of course.
The time.
You already know how that is.
You come home to money, baby.
That's been Diddy forever. Everything's been swept under the rug, and now it's swept under the rug for someone else to clean and then hold against you in the future.
The thing with these Diddy allegations other allegations are coming out about him setting up Tupac, him setting up Big.
Yeah.
So
it's getting deeper than rap right now.
It just continues to get deeper when you see how much he's been involved in hip hop and the crazy parts to hip hop.
Yeah.
As I said last show, Prodigy and Mobb Deep said that the hip hop cops were invented to follow Diddy around.
Yeah.
So,
that's
more to come on this wild journey, but
it's crazy.
I don't even want to see the trial.
We're not even at trial yet, dog.
I don't even want to see the trial.
Yeah.
Craziness, bro.
All right. Okay, so a little more local. Famed local hip hop artist. Top five. I recently beat his court case of murder. He was sitting down for 3 years,
which is a wild thing because when we were looking into the case further, it seems like they didn't have any concrete evidence, and they were trying to book him off his social media profile.
It doesn't even make sense.
His
to me.
Music videos, his TikTok, his Instagram rants.
If what I'm hearing is correct, and you don't have any evidence, and I sat and I wasted time in my life, I'm going back for that bread,
of
right?
Course.
But so Top 5 is on his fresh out tour.
Yeah.
Recently did a live stream with Academics and Aiden Ross, and with some of his peoples, and was popping, and it looks like you know, he has a lot to say. He was talking a lot about Drake, talking, you know, some local Toronto old beefs that, you know, I guess are still out there. Now, you know, keep in mind,
beef doesn't end, bro.
Yeah, Blueprint Radio, we're going to stay out of the poly for the most part. You know, that's not really our thing. But obviously, we do love the City T, and we want to, you know, it is entertaining to a certain degree, and it is, from some levels, hip-hop.
This is not just City. This is international news.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do love hip-hop.
Gotta cover it. Big up Top 5.
Yeah. We do love hip-hop, you know, for those that really want to get deep into the T. You know, shout out Friday Ricky, Dread, and
Trapper John.
And Trapper John, you know, we love what you guys are doing over there, and everybody over there, so mad love.
Shout out.
But do you think, you know, being out even after that first speech, you know, or that first interview, is Top 5 doing a little too much right now, or is he doing what the streets do in regards to, you know, repping and
for me, he just came home,
right? Okay,
so let it breeze a little bit. Like if it was me, I just did 3 years. I'm chilling with the fam.
Yeah,
I'm getting back accustomed. I'm in the cut.
Yeah.
I'm watching. I'm getting back on my grind to get my money up.
Yeah.
Not to say he's not doing that, because I saw he released a record recently.
Yeah.
Sounded all right.
Yeah. We'll run it next week.
But for me, you might have an issue with Kendrick, and I get it. You're supporting Drake. Don't call out the whole coast of LA.
Yeah,
man.
that's the tough part.
The
I think
whole
about
West
it.
Coast, because it's not just LA when you call out LA.
Yeah.
It's also the whole state of California.
Yeah.
They're gonna ride for their guy, and we need them more than they need us.
100%, my
the
guy.
industry is really out there, anyways. If you think about it,
Everyone
if you
has to
wanna
go
do
through
movies,
LA.
you want to do
Yeah.
anything. Most of our rappers go out there. Like Pressa was out there, Drake's been out there, Tory was out there.
You have to be out there.
You gotta be out.
You
in
have
LA.
to be out there.
So
it's a losing battle for us in this
top
six.
5. I can't tell you what to do, but personally, I just want to say, like, yo, in rap we need more unity. Like,
that's all.
We don't
City
need
love.
that. We don't need no fly zones.
Yeah.
If you got an issue and you want to press somebody when they come here, but don't make it a coastal war. Don't make it a us versus them thing.
Yeah.
We need them. And like LA is one of the dopest places to go. If
For
you
real,
ever
for
been.
real.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for real,
So
for real.
like,
No, my sentiment.
and we're not
exactly,
even like, we're not deep. We're not strong like them. I love my city. I love everything, but like, we don't want that.
Yeah, I think unity is the way to go. Obviously, this is sensitive topic right now,
course.
and you're gonna ride, especially, you know, if you have that type of relationship with Drizzy. So I get it. I do get it. I just think, you know, we just gotta, you know, one day at a time. You know what I mean?
Bro,
and
you just came home. Come,
you know,
go stretch
enjoy
out your
it. Yeah, nah, you know,
go
take
hop in a nice whip. Go take a lady out.
go see a vacation. Even if you can only get to Niagara, do what you gotta do. You dig?
Yeah, bro, don't worry about that.
All right, yo, shout out to Six all day, every. Speaking of the Six, it looks like there's news that Live Nation just opened or is building a new concert venue at Downsview Park.
This is gonna be incredible.
Nuts, right?
Did you see how many people this is gonna hold?
Well, they're saying about 50,000 people, so that's not a small. It's not a small venue.
That's like U2 is coming to perform there.
That's not a small
like,
venue.
I don't know. You got to be a big time artist to get that venue.
And they're saying that it's going to inject 80 to 100 million in revenue for the city. So it's very interesting in a time where the economy is going the way it's going. Now, to me, it's a concert venue. So I understand building venues for the World Cup. I get that, but this is a concert venue. Right. So that's why that's why it's a little interesting, because from what I'm seeing, you know, the tea leaves in the music industry, you know, a lot of execs are being fired. So it seems like they're trying to streamline it. I didn't know that a lot of people still had the additional money to go and see concerts at these big venues, right? Like, obviously we go to Budweiser, you know, all the time. We're pretty much residents there. But, you know, to me, it's very interesting. I want to see how it plays out.
It's crazy because, as you said, it looks like the industry is just on its decline. Like, all labels are firing CEOs, so executives.
To have a concert venue, like, and again, it's
I don't know how it's gonna work, but maybe it could be used for multiple things. I don't know what it's gonna be.
That's what I'm saying.
It looked like one stage that like. So are they gonna do multiple stages in the one venue? Like I haven't seen the
festival
drawing.
Thing, like right? I don't know. Yeah, Downsview Park, right? So we've all been to Downsview Park. We know how massive that place is.
It's huge.
It's a nice venue spot. It's right in a good part of the city. We'll see how that pans out. I guess last thing that I got here for on the entertainment side of things. Again, I said this is a little messy show. Offset and Cardi. Now, we don't like to get or want to get with it between married couple.
It's been a messy relationship from jump there.
Highs and lows. It's crazy that with everything we've seen in this relationship since its inception, like they got 3 kids, dog. They got 3 kids.
They're about to break up every other week. So last time I heard this, I didn't believe it, but it seems to be the end.
Well,
and it's getting nasty.
Yeah, Cardi B filed for divorce back in 2000, I believe. But they made amends and they stuck together until now. But I guess this is the final straw. It's getting wild right now. 2020? What did I say? 2000? Yeah, 2020. 2020 is what I mean. Yeah. But. They're wilding right now all over social media. It's really sick. I'll be honest with you. I don't really like it. I don't even want to hear anything about it. But we gotta let the people know. Cardi's claiming that Offset's been cheating on her, over the last 5 years.
Each month.
Yeah, like he's going crazy, and so I do get it. If that is true, they had a back and forth online. Or I guess Cardi was on live and Offset commented saying that she. That she cheated on him while she was pregnant. Now,
see that?
Even those details, like, I understand you're trying to, defame somebody or whatever the case is, but like now, and then Cardi came back and said, and like she pretty much confirmed that she did. Offset said, listen, I'll get the last word. I'm paraphrasing here. I'll get the last laugh, even if it's with your sister. And she's like, and she insinuated that, at least, the tweets insinuated that she had a more than friendly relationship with Takeoff. And
I heard that's a lie.
I hope it's a lie. I hope that's a lie.
Cleared that up, said that wasn't her. That's not true.
But here's the thing, though. You and I both know we've been in relationships. Women sometimes, when they're mad, say things that
a woman could hurt you more than a man could ever hurt
that they don't want to say in the time, but a lot of times they're not physically as strong as us or whatever the case, and we don't know. But she might have been and said, you know what, I messed up in that moment. Who knows? It was matching the same energy. Offset's foul for even saying that about the sis. Why did he even
bring that up? The 100%. Second part is like, fam, it's some other your children. Like,
and it's public, right? So now I'm totally off this.
Once it's public, it can't be fixed.
And the kids are there. They just had a baby,
and they're probably going to see this in the future.
Of course, they're going to see this in the future. If they're not going to find it, someone is going to show it to them.
Because I know I'd be bullying them.
Right? Yo, stop.
Yo, is this your mom?
I know. Say, act up.
Play with me if you was. Huh?
Yeah, but no, those kids are rich, so they may have some pull. But at the end of the day, right? Like, we don't want to see this.
Nasty
we're pro love. We're pro family structure here at Blueprint. So hopefully this ends up, the way happy for everybody and a lot less toxic. You got anything else on this, my guy?
Nah.
Nothing. All right.
Just stay out. Relationships, stay off social media, man.
Please,
when you're in a relationship, just keep it between you and the partner. Work it out. Don't work it out. Do whatever you do, but once it becomes public knowledge, it's not a good thing.
That's there forever, pretty much, man.
And where does stuff go on the internet? It can't get erased. It's there.
Yeah. So
where does it go when you erase it? I had to tell my little man that, like, I deleted that. Where does it go?
Bro, that was me with Facebook. I'll end on this. I remember maybe about 15 years ago, why I don't have a Facebook account right now is I tried to remove a picture of my ute back in the day, and they said this is public property of Facebook and you can't remove
that
it.
Is
I'm done with this. So obviously that was back then, and right nowadays we don't really have a choice in the matter. But just be careful about what you let people know and who you bring into your relationships, because it's kind of hard to get people out of your relationships once they're in. All right, we're gonna get right back into music. World famous Blueprint Radio Show. We got you.
New Sid and Tim, kid.
Let's go.
I said it.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
Yeah, so this week in sports was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big thing that happened. Karl Anthony Towns was traded to the New York Knickerbockers.
We starting off with the NBA in September. That's
crazy.
Okay.
Right?
It's a big trade. Trade. No one's seen it coming. I think
Yes.
everyone knew about it when the trade pretty much almost happened. I think we got a pre-tweet from Shams or something, and next thing we knew that Karl Anthony Towns is on the New York Knicks, traded for Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, and I guess obviously the rest of his contract. I think there was another team in the trade. I think it was the Charlotte Hornets. There was some other draft capital there that went, but the most important thing is that Cat's moving over. I think there's a couple ways you can look at this trade. At the end of the day, I guess let's start from the Minnesota perspective. What do you think? They just finished in second overall.
Right.
They made it to the conference finals for the first time in how many years? They seem to have some chemistry, something growing there, something building there.
So here's what I think.
To remove an integral piece like that
Here's what I think.
Is dangerous, right?
I think they had two centers.
Okay.
So now they wanted a power forward.
Got it.
And that's what they get in Julius Randle.
Okay.
Solid power forward. If it doesn't work, he's gone. So his contract expires at the end of this year.
Yeah.
You try it out. You see how it works.
Yeah.
And it's still a man, but you have somebody in the post to pass it to.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to justify this.
I don't know why they
Minnesota
did this.
portion of this, like other than freeing up money, and I get the freeing up
Exactly.
money because they were saddled
need a
with
point
cap.
guard.
Well, they also again like based off what they had, the cat contract was pretty big. They just signed Rudy the Big. They gotta pay Ant. They had no space or no room on the back end to build the bench and the back end of that roster.
Exactly.
So this is, I think, a move for the next couple years. Now, after this, when it comes to a performance standpoint, there's no way they're going to stay where they were top 4 in the West with Julius Randle versus Cat. I think they fall
Julius Randle
to at least 6 or play in with this trade.
I wouldn't say that. Julius Randle is solid.
He wasn't solid with the Knicks. Like
He
again,
was. He just it's injuries,
I'm
right?
I'm low on Julius Randle, bro.
I'm not as low on
Because look how
him.
good they did without him, and that to me is always a sign, right? You're not a leader on the team.
The East was weak.
You're not. Okay, granted, still they finished in
Jalen
second.
Brunson had an incredible season.
You're gonna take that away from the Knicks. So what you saying? The Knicks season was trash.
No, I'm not saying it was trash. I'm just saying like it was like an apex.
It shouldn't have
season.
happened.
Yeah.
If everyone's healthy and everything happens,
yeah.
where do they finish? If everyone's healthy in the East and everyone's playing where they should play, and Embiid's there and Lillard and Giannis clicked and Boston's still
6.
Boston, 5 or 6. Like, okay, all right, cool.
I'll be honest.
Okay, cool.
Like
cool.
I think they overachieved.
You're not wrong in that sense. 100%.
I really think they overachieved.
You're not wrong in that, yeah.
I think Julius Randle is a great player. Okay, I'll say he's a good player. He's not great.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
He's a borderline all-star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I had him on my fantasy team, he was 26-10.
Yeah, okay.
When he was playing. He just got injured. He plays really well in the regular season. It's the playoffs where the issues come about.
He's an ISO baller for me. Doesn't have a consistent jump shot. Doesn't have a 3-point shot at all. In this day and age, it is something. He can't space the floor.
I differ on that.
No,
I think
his shooting percentages are
face-up shooter. I think he's a great face-up shooter.
Oh wow!
And his 3-point shot is improving.
I think everyone knows he's going left. And he doesn't do anything. Again, in this day and age with analytics,
you got to stop him.
You have to figure that out.
You got to stop him. Anybody that averages 26-10 while they're healthy, they could ball.
Hold on, did Julius Randle play for Detroit Pistons?
No, he didn't.
I'm trying to understand this.
No,
I'm
just being
No,
honest.
I feel you. I feel it's a little weird, but okay. Because Julius Randle to me has never been really like again an LA. You know, he got traded and then he got traded to the Pels, and now he's on the Knicks, and like he's never just been anything.
So he was 24-9 and 5
with the Knicks.
That was last season, and the season
before he got injured.
Yeah, and the season before he was 25-10 and 4. So
24-9-5. I'll walk that back but okay.
Yeah, 24-9-5. Like 46
what was their record?
35 minutes.
Did it say?
Ooh, I can't get into all that. So
okay, all right.
That's intense analytics. That would be something that we need to look at. But
so who do you think is better then, Cat or Julius Randle?
Cat's better.
Okay, so you agree that they've taken a step back result wise this year? They're still gonna be top 3 in the West.
No, I never said.
No, I'm asking you.
No,
Okay.
They're not. They're not.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not a terrible trade for them.
Okay.
Because they're making Ant their future.
Okay.
And Cat, they just.
Well,
I don't know. They weren't it.
Well, I think that's the other side of the trade because Cat to me has never been him. This is why this trade is so odd to me because you're trading kind of B or C type personalities with each other, right? Cat, I think offensively, if everything clicks right, it's really good for New York. I bought into the Connecticut team camaraderie that they have over there. Right. So removing DiVincenzo does mess with that a little bit. But, if you're going to tell me on paper that I'm going to trade DiVincenzo and Julius Randle for Cat, I do it 9 times out of 10. So I think it makes them better especially with OG over there. And all the pieces that they've picked up, and obviously Jalen Brunson taking the next level. They should be in that 2 to 4 spot. I think throughout the year.
Like last year, Cat shot 41% from 3.
I think career wise, I think he's 39% from 3.
He's solid.
Yeah, his offense is there's no question.
For sure.
Offense is just defensively, it's just motor. And again, I think the biggest thing for me when it comes to Cat is, again, I was talking about the B-type, C-type personalities. He's now playing in New York. He couldn't handle media in Minnesota.
But him and the coach have synergy. He played for that coach before.
I get it.
So he knows the system.
I get it.
So he might be good with that system. It takes a lot of pressure off of Brunson.
Listen,
I don't think Brunson could repeat that season again. He looked tired at the end of that joint.
For sure, but he was the best player in the league, the last 2 months of the year, pretty much, right?
He definitely was up there. I mean, they got Bridges.
Tibbs getting players the second time around, just thinking off the top, it never works out. Like Jimmy went back and played with him, and didn't really work out. D Rose, he got minutes, it didn't really do
wasn't
nothing.
The same player.
I get it still, but it really didn't do nothing.
He had that 50 ball, though. Let's talk about that. And we didn't even talk about it. Shout out to D Rose. He retired.
Oh yeah, big shout out to D Rose.
An amazing career.
The biggest what if maybe in NBA history.
Yeah, between him and Freddie Hardaway for sure.
Yeah, biggest what if maybe.
For sure.
So
we're gonna see what this trade leads to. I mean,
yeah,
I like Cat.
Yeah.
I like Cat. I think he'll be good in that system. I think he's another option to get the ball to.
Yeah.
He's a stretch 4-5. He can shoot the rock like his shooting clip is crazy.
Yeah, he can score.
And it would just be easier for him with a guy like Brunson that can get him the ball in the positions he needs to get the ball.
I'm interested in seeing the Knicks because now the Knicks are actually a really good team, which means that they're probably going to be worse this year than they were last year. It's just so New York. It's on par. Bing bong,
bing bong.
So we'll see how. Again, the East is that Jordan migration. Like all the players I feel are coming over to the East now, and the East is starting to get really strong. Like Boston,
heavy.
We got PG over here again. You got Cat over here now. It's Milwaukee's move. I know they did Dame last year. They need someone to kind of
shift the tide.
Well, they need someone to replace Middleton. I think as another piece. You just can't trust him. He's too injured. So again, we're talking basketball in September. We'll take it. All right. So NFL Week 4. Okay, so what I got here is some of the big winners of the week were the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Niners, the Bucks beating the Eagles 33-14. Jeez. Yeah. Maybe the best team in the league right now are the Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings.
Which is crazy,
That's
right?
mad. That Jets-Broncos game, it was terrible TV, so bad that I want my money back, and I only watched the highlights. It was terrible. One touchdown I think scored, missed field goal to end the game. What else we got here?
When do you even see that?
The Rams. So the Rams are weird because they beat us last week and then lose to the Bears this week. So that's some weirdo shit. Titans say so. The Saints Falcons game was pretty good. That went down to the wire.
That went to a field goal.
Yeah, that was a good game.
A 58-yarder.
Yeah.
Like that was so trash. The Saints really lost that game. They threw away the ball.
Yeah.
They like the Falcons' offense didn't do anything. It was all field goals and off defensive recoveries. It was a pick. It was a recovery in the end zone. Like no, man.
I remember watching a lot of that game on Red Zone, and they were just clipping to that game all the time just because there was so much things going on. But big shout out to Jaden Daniels for the rookie quarterback for the Washington Commanders, fresh out of LSU.
Hold on, did you even know the Commanders were going to be this good?
No one. They're 3-1 right now. They're in the NFC East. That division does have the Cowboys. It does have the Eagles. It has the Giants as well, but no one cares. Yeah, the Giants so we'll see. I think they are one of the biggest surprises. As I mentioned, Minnesota, huge surprise being 4-0 right now.
Rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but big for him. He's setting NFL records right now. I think the number was 82.4. His passing completion percentage over the last 4 games, which is number 1 in NFL history over a 4-game span. I think the closest to him was Peyton Manning. He had a stretch like that back in 2006. Yeah. But I think at that time, Peyton Manning was already in his 6th or 7th year.
Peyton Manning was already him.
Yeah, exactly. So big shout outs to him. Anything else stand out to you on the NFL front?
So the Eagles had some missing pieces this week.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice out with a torn ACL.
So that's why Kelsey actually had a good week, right? They actually had to throw the ball to him. Right? They had no one to throw the ball to.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard for them with their number 1 receiver out.
Yeah,
they continue to find ways to win. They're 4-0. Minnesota being 4-0 is crazy.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was on fire.
He's looking like a number 1 pick,
bro.
Bro, in Tampa right now,
bro. Crazy. Let's get into some footy action.
Okay, well, before that, who do you got tonight? We got 2 games on.
Lions, bro.
You got Lions winning.
I got Lions over the Seahawks.
Okay.
I hate the Dolphins. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So I rather the Tennessee Titans win. I don't know why I don't like Miami. I just don't.
No, listen.
Never have, never will. It's just one of those polarizing teams. It's like the Sacramento Kings for me. I'm never liked them.
I'm with you. It's an AFC East thing. It's Bills or no one else. But my take is looking terrible right now, picking them to go to the AFC Championship game against the Ravens. That's probably that side of that pick is not happening for sure unless Tua comes back like Superman. But yeah, I guess tonight, I gotta take the Titans. They have still good pieces in Miami. It's just the quarterback is so influential in regards to the way a game is played. That
of course they run your offense.
Yeah, right. So that's good. That sounds like it's gonna be such a bad game. And again, I got the Lions. I think the Lions. I picked them early to be top 4, probably by the end in the NFC, if not get to the conference finals. I think if it's not us in the Super Bowl, it might be the Lions. But they don't look as good as they did last year.
Yeah,
this year so far. But we'll see if that starts to
it's not really shaky. They're 2-1.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
What I mean?
It's not bad.
But
and they can easily win tonight.
We thought they were going to be world beaters. So I mean, going to 3-1 it's pretty good. The Seahawks are 3-0 right now. So I know I'm picking the Lions, but the Seahawks do have a chance.
Okay. All right. So you were talking about footy. So yeah, it was a big week in the EPL.
Bruv.
Yeah, big week in the EPL.
Bruv.
A lot of things happened. I think for me, obviously, I'm gonna always start with Arsenal. We almost fumbled the bag.
Bro.
The score was 4-2. Leicester got robbed. They should have snuck out with a draw. We scored 2 goals in the 90th minute. So the game was a lot closer than it looked. City drew with Newcastle. Shout out London. 1-1, which is huge. And again, it was as tight as the EPL is. Draws are pretty much losses, when it comes to that.
Especially in standings, yeah.
Yeah. Liverpool, they lead the EPL right now, beating Wolverhampton. Villa, we were talking about it. They were up 2-1 late.
For breakfast.
They were up 2-1 and ended up drawing 2-2 against Ipswich. Now, that's a
winless team.
That's one of those games that you look back at the end of the year when you draw to a winless team and you kind of, want to kick yourself.
But you know what is crazy to me?
Yeah.
Chelsea's creeping up.
Yeah, listen, Chelsea is one of them, They're another London team that has a history of just being well. And when they're not, top 5, we're always thinking something's wrong with them. But it's just a matter of time. I think that they've progressed well. Palmer is playing amazing over there. Their other striker, what's his name? Johnson. He's doing well as well. But the EPL is, I love footy. It's just every week. It's kind of like on the NFL tip to me in that sense. It's just, especially with the top 5 to 7 teams like Man U, Tottenham, we were talking about, which is, always going to be, good games. But Man U's not the team that, that we grew up watching, obviously.
Yeah, I'm normally used to hearing their name in that top 5.
Yeah.
Right now it's Liverpool at 1,
yeah.
Man City at 2, Arsenal at 3.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Chelsea, and then Villa to round it out at 5.
So you guys got Europa right now, so we'll see. It's a long season. So we'll see how this.
Had a few games in a quick span because you played Sunday, played the Tuesday, and they played Sunday again.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, man. What else do you want to get into?
Some sad news. I guess we'll get into this. I guess this happened today. Yes. It looks like NBA Hall of Famer, legend, fan favorite, one of the most recognizable people in the NBA probably history. Has one of the biggest calling cards with that no. Sad news that Dikembe Mutombo has passed away at the age of 58. He was suffering from brain cancer. The reports that I've read haven't said that that's what he specifically died of, but that's what they're saying he was suffering from. So prayers out to the family, to the NBA community. I know he was really influential into the rise of African basketball in the early days. So, and with all the talents that the NBA is that are in the NBA from the continent of Africa, I know that they're in mourning right now. Just an amazing player, defensive player of the year.
Too.
I remember one of the early memories of Dikembe for me was being on that Nuggets team. I want to say 96. Or maybe not 96. Maybe it was 97, where they. Upset. No, that was
95. 95,
yeah.
The Supersonics.
They upset the Supersonics.
Oh my God, I remember watching that as a kid and being hurt.
Because the Supersonics were a big team,
because that was when they had a 5-game series for the opening round.
So that was big, but again,
him holding the ball on the floor.
Yeah. But he was also influential, obviously, on the defensive side of the floor. But when he moved over to the Philadelphia 76ers and teamed up with Allen Iverson, and they ended up going to the NBA Finals that year. They actually beat our Toronto Raptors in the semifinals that year. So, Dikembe, and he's just been, an ambassador for the NBA, for basketball.
Four defensive player of the years, which is tied with Ben Wallace and Rudy Gobert for the most of that award, which is crazy. But I remember watching NBA Inside Stuff and just seeing him in the Congo and building hospitals and what he was doing for the development of Africa. So
he'll live forever.
Big loss for us.
He's done some remarkable things. From what I heard, a very smart guy. One of the deepest voices you'll ever hear.
He could have been the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, so rest in peace and rest in power, rest in paradise, and shout out and condolences and prayers to the family for sure. Lastly, so we brought up a conversation last week, and obviously I think we're going to hear a lot more about it as time goes on when it comes to this retirement of Vince Carter's jersey.
You gotta do it.
Now, okay, again, so has your sentiment changed at all from when we got the announcement last week?
Nah, I think they should have announced it way earlier.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Last year when the Nets announced that they were going to retire Vince Carter's jersey, I was very disappointed with the Raptors in seeing that there was no plan at that point. We hadn't heard about it.
Yeah.
And then now we're seeing what they did. We've seen Dixon Courts they fixed up.
Yeah.
Tributed to Vince.
He was emotional.
And from back in the days, they always had that VC15 sign on the rims. Yeah. I got family that lived in that area, so I know.
Dope.
The courts look amazing. I want to go play over
there.
Yeah,
we gonna pull up.
But I mean, Vince is our biggest NBA star. Maybe ever because of what he did and revolutionized the game in Canada, Toronto. Just made it bigger. We talked about our highlights with Vince Carter just being so happy when he won the dunk comp and rep for us. He really loved that Toronto jersey. He repped right.
Yeah.
So VC was like we had Mighty Mouse, we had T-Mac, we had Marcus Camby, but VC was that guy. And that popped the franchise off.
And this is why I'm so, I was actually taken aback this week. I'll be honest with you because, we listened to, all of the sports pundits and, in Canada and in the U.S. And I was very disappointed with a lot of them. And I have a little bone to pick, I'd say, right? So,
really?
For all of those that, still have a 20-year grudge, for a 26-year-old human being that made decisions that a 26-year-old human being make and are still harboring any type of feelings to this day. And I'm hearing he set the franchise back and yada, yada, yada. Let me be the first to tell you that you guys are losers.
Go in.
You guys are top-tier losers. And listen, I understand, still being in your mom's basement. It's okay. You can come out. It's the world can be a scary place.
Get him.
Please leave from behind your computer and all of this trash. It sounds so stupid. Like as I mentioned, I'm hearing some of the most prominent sports broadcasters in Canada sound like spoiled, entitled fans. So I get it. I lived it. I was one of those people too that said, I'll never forget Vince. I'll never forgive Vince. But something changed.
With time, you grow up.
Listen. I started to believe in myself. I became motivated. Started to work hard. I started to make a little bit of money. Right. Started the women. Starting to be around a lot more prettier women, nice cars.
Yeah,
Ultimately roses.
Go in.
I got a life. Right. And in getting that life, I realized that I can't let another person's decisions impact me in any way, shape, or form, especially if I have no personal connection to them, right? So, for those still struggling, as with the retirement of Vince Carter's number 15 jersey, I offer this. We won. The basketball faithful of Toronto, the loyal legions of Raptors fans, we have an NBA title. We celebrated victory at the top of the NBA mountain, right? Unfortunately, Vince doesn't have this. So the conversation goes like this. Hey, Vince, you're so instrumental in what you've done for Canada basketball.
Right.
Love seeing you as a Toronto Raptor and growing and becoming an all-star. And, we're so excited to retire your jersey. It's going to look so great beside our 2019 Eastern Conference Finals champion. And it's going to look even better right beside the 2019 NBA Finals champion. Listen, Vince, I tear up every single time.
My son is
every single time I think about it. Vince, you would love the finals. They're amazing. And end of conversation. Listen, we've gotten more from Vince Carter than Vince Carter's gotten from Toronto. Right? I understand in real time, you can't quantify what the impact of what notoriety can do, right? I get that. But what Vince Carter maybe has done for one single franchise, especially back then, I don't know if another player has done for a franchise and a country, to that magnitude, right? And I can just simply, just the nightly highlights, seeing this player every single night on ESPN, not just on Sportsnet or TSN, see him on the biggest stage, the Olympics, dunking over the 7-footer.
Incredible
Probably one
memory.
of the biggest NBA basketball Olympic highlights ever, right?
I've watched that a million times.
Yo, the Nike campaigns. The Shocks were the biggest shoe in the world when Vince Carter was wearing
I
them.
went to a commercial audition for this.
Bomb. Right? Again, you mentioned the jersey. The social impact of the coolness that he made that Raptors jersey in mainstream media, in hip hop, in pop culture.
The 51 versus Phoenix.
100. Look again. I'll even gonna take it a step further. Vince, maybe to me, is top 15 athletic or naturally gifted players in NBA history. Listen, I'll even say this.
I would say higher.
Listen, okay, hey, talk to them, Roses. I'll check the comments later. Left right-hand jumper, off the dribble, can shoot mid-range, post work, money from the line. Oh yeah, and probably the best in-game dunker ever. His hops,
incredible.
His bounce was unreal. Right? So, again, I'll check the comment for anybody that wants to debate that. I'm here for the smoke. All right? So, again, long and short of it, we've had more good times with Vince than we had bad times with Vince, right? He didn't have to come back every year and do those Vince Carter classics. He didn't have to, but he did.
I went to one.
Bro, I went to every single one of them.
Weekend.
Bro, we never had nothing like that in the city, bro. So again,
he brought out bottle service.
Bro, as you get older, and if you're a little older man and you know about Inside Nightclub, if you know, that was a thing. So listen,
inside.
I am all about giving people their flowers while they can smell them.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna end it on that. But I do want to say, for all y'all that still hold that grudge, get a life. Y'all are still losers, for real. All right.
Yo, on that note, let's just get right back into some music. You heard what it is. You heard what Matic had to say. Blueprint Radio, son.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
All right, we're back. So in This Week in Hip Hop, September 24th, A Tribe Called Quest released their second album, Low End Theory, in 1991.
Classic.
And The Roots released their third album, Philadelphia Half-Life. I remember buying this cassette.
What They Do. Yo, that track played forever on Much Music too. I remember that. Yeah,
that video was dope. It had the tags.
What they do.
They did shots at Big.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was hard.
September 25th, T.I. celebrated his birthday. On the 26th of September,
Happy
Thug
Earthstrong.
Life released their debut, their only album, Volume 1.
Yeah.
That was in 1994. That was Tupac, Big Stretch.
Yeah.
It has some dope records. Cool G Rap released his solo album, 456.
Legend Cool G Rap.
1995.
Legend Cool G Rap.
I still bump that album to this day.
Legend Cool
Need
G
to get
Rap.
that on vinyl.
Yeah.
Shine also released his debut album on September 6, 2000. I remember borrowing that CD so I could dub it onto a cassette.
Listen, Shine was the one. They were pushing him like the next one, right? I didn't really hear the big voice because the style was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I definitely heard it in what was his name? Gorilla
Black.
Gorilla Black.
Nah. He had a little big sound because this is the muffle.
Yeah, the muffle. I got that, but nothing else to me was really big.
Shine was one of them ones, man.
Yeah.
That album was fire. So on September 28th in 1993, we got 3 albums. We got Spice 187 he wrote.
Yeah.
So fire.
Yeah.
Souls of Mischief. 93 till Infinity. One of the greatest beats of all time.
One of the most known tracks in hip hop history, easily.
Just amazing.
They just know the song. People don't know. Do your history and all that, but who the artists are. But when you hear that beat, when you hear the
just a dope.
Oh man,
brings me back to a day, yo.
For real.
To a real time.
Like youth, childhood, man.
For a fact. And then KRS-One had his first solo album. Remember, he was down with BDP before this. So this was his first official solo album, Return of the Boom Bap. I remember the video he had where he had about 8 tracks in one promoting this album. This album is the shit.
Yeah,
I have it as a CD now. Need to get it on vinyl. Incredible.
I think he's one of those hip-hop legends that it doesn't get, enough praise. Isn't talked about enough. Now I understand why.
Yeah.
What his type of music is
Knowledge
uplifting and empowering
supreme,
and it's guiding, and that's not what hip hop is anymore. So I get why he doesn't get it. But please, those seeking the positive, because hip hop music is amazing, and you can learn a lot and grow from it, and yeah, definitely, and have a balance with, you got this drill stuff and the heavy 808s. You gotta balance out your chakras and your frequencies with different types of music and different flows and feelings. And KRS-One is definitely a teacher, the teacher.
Facts.
And get to know his catalog, right? He has an amazing catalog. And sometimes, you gotta seek knowledge, and I think that's one of those scenarios where KRS-One is good for the soul at the end of the day. So big shout out to KRS-One.
For sure. And I'm glad you said that, because it's important that people do their history, do the knowledge, and understand where hip hop came from. More on September 28th, 1999.
Blueprint Radio can lead you to water.
You feel me? We got Meth and Red, who released their debut, Blackout. Remember this in high school.
Yeah,
Big
for sure.
album.
For sure.
And R.I.P. to the legend on this day last year, 2000. Actually, it's 2 years now. Sorry. Coolio passed in 2022.
Rest in power.
On September 29th, Curtis Blow released his self-titled debut album in 1980. So imagine that. That was before I was born.
That predates me, for
You know what I
sure,
mean? Hip-hop was going on.
Hey.
Jay-Z released his third album, Volume 2, in 1998.
This does not predate me. This is when I was in my zone, and and it's Jay. But a funny story that has recently come out. I guess it's been known, but a lot of people that were around at the time were saying that Jay-Z was almost out of here if he didn't drop this album and didn't have this the Hard Knock Life we're gonna play later on the show, and it just changed the whole trajectory of what we know now as
Jay and Rockefeller,
as Jay-Z and Sean Carter and everything that is Rockefeller, for real.
For sure. So we said that was 1998. There was also 3 other albums that dropped that day.
Crazy.
All classics.
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest released their 5th and last album together, The Love Movement.
Yeah.
Outkast released their 3rd album, Aquemini.
Classic album.
Maybe the best cover out of every cover I've ever seen in hip hop.
This album.
That's one of the greatest covers.
For sure.
And then Black Star released their self-titled debut. We all know that was an incredible duo. Talib Kweli, Mos Def, that Raucous Records era where you were hearing real hip hop was back.
Real
it was a good balance.
Yeah.
Puffy, don't want to talk about him too much, but that Puffy era Shiny Suits was around the same time, but it was coming to more of an end. DMX was coming back. Sean Carter had that ill album, and then Black Star, and we got that real Raucous Records. I remember buying Sound Bombing and
that whole sound.
Eminem coming out around that time.
It was refreshing. It gave you like a 92 to 94 feel, right? Again, in hip hop, where again it's one of those things that have to have the balance, and when it comes to Black Star, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, these guys are always trying to teach and motivate and uplift in their music. So
dope
big
music.
shout out to them.
And then finally, September 30th. We gotta give our flowers to one of the greatest producers, one of the first identifiable names in hip hop.
Big shout out.
Marley Marl
celebrated
his birthday. And just on that topic, who's your favorite unknown producer or producer that doesn't get the shine that they deserve, but in your heart they're that guy? I'm not talking about the super producers that everybody knows, the Owls, the Premiers,
that's a
the
great
Beat
question.
Rocks.
That's a great question.
But who's that guy that you listen to that if he produced,
That is a great question. Right now, you got me on the spot.
Got it, Johnny on the spot, baby. I'll give you 2 of mine.
Okay, I got one. Because I'm only thinking of one right now, and it's new. And I want, and because we big up Griselda so much, I feel like he needs to get his flowers because there's a balance there. I got to go with Derringer right now.
Okay, I feel you on
over the last maybe 5 to 10. Like he has his own sound,
yes.
and it's remarkable, and it's put on 3 of the best artists over the last 5 years of hip hop. So
you're right.
Yeah.
For me, out of the Hitman team, one of my favorite producers is Nashim Merrick.
Okay. All right.
Always has dope records. TONY.
Yeah.
Queen Bitch by Lil Kim. He's done some dope shit.
Yeah.
From out of Philly, Chad West.
Okay. All
and
right.
he's gonna. One of his songs is gonna be my pick.
All right.
This week for
I like it.
The Roses pick.
I
Chad
like
West worked heavily with State Prop, so records like It's Not Right.
Okay.
Freeways in Full Effect.
Yeah.
That Chad West sound. Also a producer that doesn't get his flowers but is dope, and I've learned this in recent years, is DJ Muggs.
Yeah, we were talking about DJ Muggs.
DJ Muggs is that guy.
He's a legend that doesn't get his flowers. Yeah.
Like those Cypress Hill beats.
Man.
Ooh,
man. Like he he still just dropped an instrumental tape earlier this month. So he's still working, still cooking. He's done so much. I've seen a couple interviews with Muggs and all this behind the scenes stuff, the soundtracks that he's done, music for like TV shows and commercials that are just regular to you that he's behind. So big shout out to all the legends. Okay,
so what we got coming up, Big Dog?
So right now, my pick of the week, I'm going with a track that got me through the early 2000s and was just so influential in regards to what everything 50 Cent did and the G Unit. So I'm going with G Unit.
G Unit.
Popping them things.
That's hard. That's we
my
go
joke.
Through.
Hey.
I love that, and I'm gonna go with unknown. But if you came up in our era, you know the type of hip hop this is.
Yeah.
Freestyle Friday champion.
Okay.
Son NY.
Okay. All right.
Soul of a hustler.
Let's go.
Big up upstate New York, Rochester.
Let's go.
Blueprint Radio, baby. You know what it is.
You know what? We're also gonna run based off this week in hip hop history. Shine Bad Boys because it's such a heavy tune. Black Star, Definition. Jay-Z's It's a Hard Knock Life. And we'll end that with Meth and Red's The Rottweiler. Classic. Roses, tell them where we at.
We are at Soda Studios doing our thing. Blueprint Radio, doing it all day, every day.
Ow!
Shout out to you guys. Let's get into some music, family.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. It's been a great show.
Love y'all.
Great vibes, great topics today. I had so much fun.
Another one.
It's crazy that we have the reference. So we got to say no Diddy after that. You know what I'm saying? But no, great show, great music, great everything. You can check us out on YouTube. We're streaming all of our joints. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Like we're out here, bro. So you can find us on IG at Link Blueprint. Our email is blueprintradioshow@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
I'm Reed Roses _BPRS on IG.
I'm Matic _BPRS.
Make sure you get at us. If you have anything that you want to tell us, anything that you want to sell us, anything you want us to sell, if your baby mom wants to talk to us, holler at us. Tell us the email again, family.
Yeah, that's blueprintradioshow@gmail.com. Listen, I don't want to say we open for business, but we open to work and we open to connect. And,
of course.
And our interview lists are going up, and we're filling up our year pretty fast. So
don't say a word,
please get at us because
don't
things are working and spinning in the right direction. But we love y'all. I hope everyone has a great week.
Thank you for
from
the continuous
Blueprint Radio
support, baby.
And from Roses and myself. Thank y'all. Have a great one.
Peace.
We out.